this is a bad thought to have. There's this feeling. There's, whatever else. I think we all kind of get the picture of what happens when somebody finds somebody attractive. But all of that is going on, and you've been labeling it like it's something bad, rather than just getting it is as it is, a thought. And if you could control your thoughts, awesome. Let's meet sometime and tell us. If you think you can control your feelings, awesome, change your feelings right now. It's as absurd as trying to say you can change your skin color right now. Change it. No, you have skin that is a color. You have thoughts that do thoughting. You have feelings that do feeling things. They're just feelings. They're just thoughts. And then we might have feelings and thoughts that we label as bad, or we call fear. Like, oh, I have this is when I'm afraid. Maybe, and sure, well, go ahead and give me the argument of a bear's chasing you. Awesome, go ahead, have the bear. Yeah, you should be afraid, you should run. Or whatever you're supposed to do with bears. Or you're supposed to put your arms up, or I don't know what you're supposed to do. But be afraid. It can be dangerous. Or like your car spinning out. Good, be afraid. You might die. Be afraid. But I'm talking about the inauthentic fear of being afraid to call your mom. Being afraid to call this person. Being afraid to have this conversation. Being afraid because now you've confronted looking at transforming the whole company. What's that going to look like? But when you could just get the thoughts as the thoughts, the feelings as the feelings, not even trying to change them. This woman's attractive, so what? Doesn't mean you're going to jump all over that.
Well, and that was the solution that I came to. I thought,
It's not having...
No, because I'm wired to notice and react in a certain way, and that's going to be natural. What I do with it is when it becomes, choice.
Yeah.
But if I'm condemning myself for a natural reaction, then I'm just going to lose every day, all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's what I came to, and I wanted to ask, because It's been a month now, and it's been fine. She still's right there. It's fine. Because I'm like, oh well, that did that to me, but I don't have to do anything about it.
Yeah. But I wouldn't also buy yourself off on that you did that and that there was still something there. Like a lack of trust or whatever. But now you can get responsible for it. That, what happened reminded me of what's happened before, what I've done before. And I promise that you will have that power that gets over that. It's like when I don't know how many more times I'm going to reference that I smoked weed, but when I smoked weed, then I had to, I had a promise to quit when I got in a leadership program here that said, hey, got to be your word and not do anything illegal, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh, okay, this is going to take something, I lied about it for 2 months. Fine, leave me alone. Liar. I'm fine. I played college baseball high. I run my business high. Get off my back. I've got this. Now, I just happen to be lying to you, and I have no power, and I'm being forceful and la-di-da. But when I stopped, then there was all the body sensations, all that stuff, all the whatever, that was there, the temptations, the smell, hanging out with friends that are doing it, and it is tempting. But now you get to build yourself as being a man of your word, of being able to trust yourself. And I know that there's that trust there, but I would also consider that that upset is caused by a lack of trust there. And then you can become bigger than my feelings, bigger than my thoughts, where it doesn't run you like it's running you right now. Because it is running you. You've just dealt with it in a very, kind of a familiar way of dealing with it. Are you guys getting this so far? So when we're creating the possibility of being fearless, it's that you are dealing with life out here with what's so. Just what's so. What's so is X number of dollars in the bank account. Mortgage due 4 days. Not enough money. $1,212. Need $2,117. Okay, that's what's so. There's all these actions I could have taken, but I didn't. Okay, that's what's so. I took the actions I took, I didn't take the actions I didn't take. I've got X number of dollars, I got this, that's what's so. What's so? Wife and I had conversation, I yelled, called her this, she got mad, slammed door, left. That's what's so. I said this to my child, they did this, now I'm got these body sensations of being upset, okay. Starting to get, you get that whole world of it, right? And this is for all of us. But in creating the possibility of being fearless, it's that you're dealing with life with what's so, taking actions that you would have called consistent with being fearless. Like if I wasn't afraid, what action would I take right now? Okay, awesome. Now am I afraid? Or is that just some body sensation going on? Or is that just some thought? I used to be ran by my feelings. Ran. And by my thoughts. And not even in that bad of a way. Like, oh, I said we're going to do $15,000 of revenue this week. We did $11,600. That's kind of fine, and I worked pretty hard, and there's nothing else I could do. Let's call it a week. Cool. I just honored my thoughts and feelings, not my word. Does it make me a bad person? No. It just ran by my thoughts and feelings. Imagine the impact that this has had on the love in your relationships. I don't have that fuzzy feeling with this person anymore. Maybe I'm out of love. That has no basis in reality. And I'm not saying it is a problem, but I'm saying it to provoke something. And we are completely ran by that. Versus, my words create my world. Now, it may take something. It may take something. But that's the muscle we get to build. And I tell you, this is, for those of you who have done the advanced course, I know that you get that taste in that world, and that's why, there's that whole curriculum that I could talk about for days. But you start to master those thoughts and feelings, not running your life. You start to master all that nonsense. By here, we're getting a taste of it. And we get to practice the next couple weeks of being fearless. Or whatever it is you want to create. But I just so appreciate that you bring this up with us, because it really does give us the whole world here. So, anything else about this?
You say it's still running me.
The fact that, why I say that is because you raised your hand and then you came up and shared. Not in a bad way, you're doing the work.
Okay. So what's my next step?
Well, let's create that.
Okay.
All right, thank you. So, in your mind, let's not even do that, so we're doing that. Okay, so it can start with this. One is you get it here. You get what's so, and now you've got a choice. Honor it or not honor it. Honor the upset or create something new. And it's not a problem. You could honor your upsets. You've been highly effective honoring the upsets. Now, this is the practice of catching it when it's happening. Oh my God, I've got these feelings about this woman. Getting upset about having these feelings. Oh no. This reminds me, what does this remind me of? Oh my God, yeah, well, when I cheated on the last person. Okay. Very logical. Then getting that, okay, there's actually nothing happening right now. What's happening? Okay, whoa, I was just having these feelings and just went down the wrong path. Okay. Nothing's actually happening. I'm sitting in a chair. staring at a computer screen. The end. Or I'm sitting in a chair staring at a screen and I've got this thought called, should we be doing this? These feelings. So you get that. Now you've got a choice. And that choice is now you can start going through this dismantling upset technology, and you all have an assignment on it. But it's to then start to create something, or just give it up. You know, usually when you can catch this happening and you get to what's so, it doesn't have that grip on you. Because you are cause in the matter of this happening. Because you get that I'm the one that's having the thoughts. I'm the one that's upset. Now what is happening here? Is it a thwarted intention, an unfulfilled expectation, or an undelivered communication? Oh, it's an undelivered communication. Great. What do you think you should do with an undelivered communication? Deliver the communication. What's that expectation? Oh my God, I'm supposed to have mastered this like somebody who's done this for 20 years. All right, can I give that up? Yeah, I can give that up. Can I deal with what's so? What's so is I got this done, this done, this done, this done. I did not get this done, this done, this done, this done. Okay, the end. Thwarted intention. What was my intention? Okay, something happened. Didn't get fulfilled. Now, could I be upset about it or do something about it? So any questions? Yeah, buts, how bounce? Something that's not quite in for you? Or is that pretty clear? Yeah, Julio.
What about craving?
Gravy?
Craving.
The cravings.
But could be anything, drugs, alcohol,
Yeah. It's a
cigarettes.
craving. So what? And I mean, I don't say so what lightly. You know, like that's not a big deal. But you get to get it as a craving. This is right here just dealing with what's so. What's happening in what's so? Craving. It's craving. I've got this thing going on in my stomach that I'm calling a craving. I have a thought called eat the pizza. Honor it? Sure. Don't honor it? Okay. But it starts to get you in a whole world of power. And I don't expect this. Look, this is a long conversation. This is, we could go weeks of what it takes to master this. Speaking every single day with this. So I'm not expecting you, and I don't want you to expect yourself to get this all wrapped in a bow where you're going home and super powerful over every thought, feeling, and anything going internal. This is a mastery over time. This is like the new piece of this education that is, this is it for human beings. We could get, I'm not my craving. Jeff gets that he's not these body sensations. He can set those aside and go be fully with his wife. Nothing in between. That's extraordinary. There's no war with that. There's no upsets that last more than minutes. Like this is the kicker for human beings. Cravings. Awesome. You don't have to be ran by cravings or the people with the drug addictions.
I feel that has to do with integrity.
Totally.
When I fail one thing, then it's easy for me to fail again, not in another.
Exactly. That's why we've got in this seminar 3 levels. Level 1, break down as an access to break through. Wow, I got a familiar way of being. I can create something new. Number 2, integrity. Honoring my word, building that integrity muscle. Number 3, wow, I get upset. I'm an upset waiting to happen. No power there. Let me now dwell in life dealing with this. Building that muscle. I mean, come on, that's just maybe something magical will happen. Maybe. Did you have something?
Yeah, let me just, I mean, this is.
Stand up.
I was just, the whole time you've been talking about this, I feel like and I know you will mock me for this, but I don't feel
Is that what I'm doing?
Well, you just said, you said, and those of you who aren't upset about anything, it's not that, it's just that, I feel like I come to a place of apathy with a lot of things where, like when you talked about what Cheryl brought up, she got done X number of things, didn't get done 5 things, and your suggestion is to say, okay, I did this, I didn't get this done, and move on. That, I'm fine with. But it's like, what do you do next to actually just stop cutting yourself slack left and right and actually do something?
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, well, I don't know. I feel like, are we getting to that? Or do I have to get to that?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. It's for you. I'm sure for Denise, getting to what? So,
For Denise,
no upset. Maybe I could just go perform and enjoy my job for the sake of the difference that I make with humans, or what I contribute to people. Or for me, what does it really take for me to actually create a promise and fulfill that promise? It takes something for me. I fail so much. I fail and fail and fail. Some weeks I don't even make a promise. Just get by. But now I've got a whole new world here. Okay, maybe I can actually just create a promise, not get upset about it, or catch myself when I'm upset, because I'm definitely going to get upset. I'm constantly upset. So the question for you is, what are you going to do with it then? But you're probably not even in that space yet until you catch yourself in the moment. And we don't have so many things to do, but I really got to get to a couple things in a moment. No, because this is a great question. And it really brings us to, okay, on the court as lived, when things are going great, when 1 week, maybe we made a promise of $25,000 of revenue. We did like 40 something. Like, God, I'm awesome. The next week we create a promise of $30,000 and we're at like $9,000. And I am upset, I'm ready to quit, and I didn't have any power there. And I got bought off on all of that. But the point of that is when things are going great, it's so easy to practice. Like I just had this conversation with my mom. Oh my God, this is awesome. But you want to now dwell in the practice and really look at the practice of when shit hits the fan. That's where there is to deal with the upsets. And that apathy is probably an equal emotion to somebody who is just like Denise crying in her car. Denise probably has a better opportunity of breaking through because I'm crying in my car, I don't like this.
Right, well, that's what I think. That's
Yeah.
actually exactly what I was thinking, like, well, and you all saw me with all my face off last time I was up here, so it's not that it's not like, it just gets piled up in there.
Yep.
And I would rather be at that point.
Right.
But I really would, because,
I know. Rather than that numb, but you could get that numbness as numbness. It's just numbness. Makes you a bad person? No. Kind of makes you a human being. Where you can then have compassion for what people deal with.
well, I have it for other people. That's easier.
Maybe.
Everybody who comes up here makes me teary-eyed. but-
Great. But imagine the compassion, the love, the connection you have with human beings when you're not so wrapped up with yourself.
Yeah, especially the people that care about you.
Yeah. Then you'll start to, and that's what I mean, don't get it as an is, like, no, I do have compassion for people. No, what if you really had that experience of, oh my God, this human being over here is really dealing with this. And I see that because I've dealt with that same thing. Who are you going to be for people? Awesome, great, thank you. Okay, new conversation. Are you ready with the phone?
I thought we were doing that last.
You're right. Okay, so this next conversation, I want you to get present to a real, and we'll complete on all that other stuff as we complete the night. But I want you to get present to the real possibility of altering life and what's possible. And when you stop living as if it is business as usual and put yourself at risk, you start to challenge what you know and often what others know to be true. I think we've kind of looked at a lot of that tonight. So listen to what, if you listen to what great movers and shakers that have been around, there have been things that have been said in our history that people have known to be true. Like an example, the people, Decca Recording Company, who rejected the Beatles in 1962, said, "We don't like their sound, and guitar music is on its way out." Not quite. Or Thomas Watson, who was chairman of the board of IBM in 1943, said, "I think there's a world market for maybe 5 computers." Or Bill Gates said in 2004 that spam will be a thing of the past in 2 years' time. I know, that would have been nice. He was right, yeah. Or the commissioner of the U.S. Office of Patents in 1899 said that everything that could be invented has been invented.
What year?
1899. There's been a couple things invented since then, I think. So, but here's the thing. Are those people who lacked vision? No. No. They just could not think of anything outside of what they thought to be true and weren't willing to risk it. Kind of like the living outside the box seminar. So I have a question for you. What did you walk into the Landmark Forum that you already knew to be true about yourself and about life, and up until then, you had not been willing to take that risk? What did you walk into the Landmark Forum with? Like when we were creating this a little bit earlier. What did you walk into Landmark Forum with that you knew to be true about yourself? Like, no, I am this way. Or about somebody else. And up until then, you were not willing to take that risk. Yeah. Yeah, Nico?
That the world just had bad people in it that were gonna hurt you.
And it was a reality for you. Yeah, yeah. Got it. Jason?
That I'm right.
That I am? I'm just right. I just know more stuff than these other people. Yeah, last one.
But I was gonna have to live my entire life with depression
Mm.
and attending
Yeah.
advice.
Yeah. I just got to battle against this depression. So, now, is it that you lacked vision? No. You just could not think anything outside of what you knew to be true, yet you were willing to put yourself at risk on behalf of something else being possible. So in the Landmark Forum, people challenge the firmly held beliefs that they have about themselves, others, and what's possible. So out of being in the Landmark Forum, people alter the direction of the things that they care about. Their careers, their marriages, their children, everything that matters most. And you and I know that in the Landmark Forum, we went far beyond our beliefs. We risked it. We got in life we got a life that we did not predict for ourselves. So, I'm sharing this because next Wednesday is a special evening about the Landmark Forum. And I really do, and I invite all of you, can you hand these out? I invite all of you to be at this Landmark Forum. And for one, obviously have people with you. Share yourself, have them there, but also to just be in the presence of what I think gets missed sometimes, which is the magic of this work. To bring presence to, oh my God, I did get this out of Landmark Forum. Or wow, I've been so caught up with my upsets that I forgot how extraordinary things have been. or how extraordinary my relationship with my wife now is. You know, and it's led by Kathy Bosco, who's just so funny. And she's just such a joy to be with. And as always, bring the teens, bring the young people. You know, there's the introductions for that as well. But the theme of that night, well, actually, I think Kathy will probably create that. She will not create that. But the theme of that night is to get these strongly held beliefs that we have. You know, and I promise, you know, there may not be a conversation designed, here's your strongly held beliefs, but it's going to get created with yourself, with the people you invite. I really do invite you know, especially since we don't have a seminar next week. You know, we've had 2 weeks off, you know, a 2-week gap, and a 2-week gap. Now we have another 2-week gap to go get some juice there. You know, go give presents to something. And we have a special message from the forum leader. You ready?
Hi everybody, this is Kathy Bosco, and I know many of you don't know me, but if you did know me, I would be your favorite forum leader. And I constantly, and by the way, I'm a little rusty, I just put the forum here in LA, and I love our work, I love leading the forum, and I love Denver. Denver's my favorite place in the whole world, because it's magical there, and I can't wait to come. I'm leading the special evening on the 18th, and I just wanted to introduce myself, and I can't wait to meet you and your family and your friends and everybody you know and your Uber drivers and anybody, the groups that you know, so they can actually get the miracle that it is of being alive, having discovered for themselves that life is empty and meaningless. And they get to create their life and they're living in themselves moment by moment by moment by moment. And you guys all be there, really. It's going to be a celebration of humanity. All right, talk to you later. Bye.
Awesome. Okay, so, should I give you direction on this? Fill out the card. All you need to do is just write your name and the number of tickets. So everybody, you've got at least 2 tickets, so you can say 2. And then, can you grab those extra tickets? And if you want more tickets, so you've got one for yourself, one for whoever you want to bring, or if you don't know if you're going to go yet, but just put your name down. You don't need to put anything else. Just put your name and then the number of tickets that you're bringing in. If you want more tickets, you know, hold up. So I want 2 more, I want 3 more, and then we'll hand you out some. And then when you're done filling those out, just hand them all into the center. All right, so Dan's here. If anybody wants more, just put their hands up.
Oh, sure, here's my
And I know that we've created the special evening, I think, once or maybe just once or twice. Double like that. Does anybody have any questions about them? Yeah. Oh. Can you grab Joseph? All right, so go ahead and hand those into the center. All right, and I've got, all right, so we have a few more conversations before we get into our groups. And there's one more thing that I want to create in a moment. Oh yeah, Dan, can you hand those out, please? Okay, so one more thing I want to create, and we've got a special opportunity before our next seminar to find out more information about this, and this is the Introduction Leaders Program. So how many people have participated in the Introduction Leaders Program? Okay, so a few. And then how many people have heard of the Introduction Leaders Program? Okay. So the Introduction Leaders Program is a program, personally this is my favorite program. But this is a program where, you know, if you've ever had the thought of, I want to be a Landmark Forum leader, or I want to be a leader in this work, or even what it takes to be trained and developed in the distinctions of leading this work, you know, I didn't take this program with the intention of being a seminar leader. You know, and you don't even have to take the program with an intention of being a leader, but if you have a curiosity of the distinctions of the work or what it takes, or you do, go, okay, I think I can lead seminars, or I think I can lead the Landmark Forum. What's the step? This is the step. And I have to tell you, this is the program where my transformation took off. You know, like when I was sharing with you that program that I was lying in for 2 months, this was the program. But you get trained and developed in being a leader, and that's what I really had to confront was, wow, okay, I can be a man of my word. What does that take? But here's the, you know, I'm going to read the purpose and the promises, and I'll create the promises in a moment. But the purpose is to empower you to be a bold leader for Landmark, one who listens for it. Like you actually can listen for this. And reliably delivers that which makes a real difference in what people are dealing with and what they really care about. So you're not helping people out or let me guide you somewhere. No, this is making a real difference. And in the process, leaves you, I know it says them, but I want you to hear it, leaves you transformed with more power, freedom, full self-expression, and peace of mind. And around you, things that historically have never moved are now moving. So that's the purpose. And then these are the promises. So notice this is not an intention or a hope for thing or, you know, hopefully you get this. This is a promise. 1, remarkable contribution. Being someone who leaves others empowered, enabled, and present to their own greatness. Full-blown self-expression. Being unconstrained and sharing yourself about what matters to you. A future of extraordinary accomplishment. Being someone who makes things happen that weren't going to happen anyway. Bold leadership, being powerful and unstoppable in the face of no agreement. And when you hear that, the no agreement, where do you think the no agreement lives? I'm upset, or you could say between your ears, you know, whatever this thing is. The no agreement you tell yourself. Representing Landmark, being someone who powerfully and effectively makes the Landmark Forum available to others. Now, before I did the Introduction Leaders Program, I registered 2 people in my life. And afterwards, you know, it's been, whatever, 70 or 80 people. But that's where that really got developed. So, next session, on the 23rd from 6 to 6:45, there's an introduction to it. You know, there's an orientation. So there's going to be somebody here who will be able to just go through, and if you have questions, doesn't mean that you even want to do it. If you just have a curiosity, you can come here and then they'll tell you about it. You can kind of see what does it take, what's involved in it. So that will be 6 p.m. to 6:45 right before our session. So there's 2 things to fill out. Fill out your name, your number, and then check. Say, I will be there, and then you just check Monday, or I cannot attend this orientation, but I am interested, please call me, and then go ahead and take a couple seconds and fill that out and then hand that in. Yeah, Felicia?
That's the 3rd square?
Nope.
Something different?
Something different.
So can you do this without doing the advanced course or?
No, you gotta do the advanced course.
You have to at least do the advanced course?
Yeah, because you gotta start to, and I highly recommend.
I just
I mean,
didn't know if
complete.
you could even be a part of this before you did all that.
No, it doesn't matter. This is.
Spencer, they can come to the orientation before having done the advanced course.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Cool. All right, hand those in. Any other questions about that? All right.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. So next conversation. You know, we're going to do this quickly. So we've got a couple things to create. So in a moment, you're going to get into your groups, and then you'll be going over the assignments. So when you're in your groups, you want to go through the assignment and really, what is it that you got in the presence of that you want to really cause a breakthrough for yourself over the next couple of weeks? Like, what were the upsets that you got present to? Oh, wow, I really do find myself getting upset about this. I never even actually saw that as an upset. In fact, I thought I was actually pretty powerful with it. I didn't realize, wow, I'm not even present. You know, so powerful, you know, said that I'm attracted to this woman, and, you know, I thought I really dealt with this, but you're dealing with it from the space of an upset. And I use that because of your vulnerability and the space you created for us. So in a moment, you'll be getting into your groups, but I want to create one more thing, and this is around sharing the landmark forum. So you could take the case that one of the main reasons you don't share or you don't share effectively is that you're afraid that the person you're sharing with may get upset. Anybody relate to that? No. Or you may be concerned that they will get upset when they come here as a guest. Or you're worried that if they say no or if they get upset, that you're going to get upset. So anybody been stopped from any of those concerns? Yes. So I get the upsets, I get the concerns, and sometimes that happens. Sometimes people do get upset. In fact, people are upsets waiting to happen. You don't even have to worry about your upset because it has never killed you. And some of you have arranged your whole life to avoid upset. And consider that doesn't work. You can't transform life being concerned about leaving other people upset. And I'm not saying to go out and upset people or now have a commitment to go upset people. You can if you want. But I'm saying you could be someone who lets upsets be and gives other people the freedom to go through whatever they need to go through. Avoiding and resisting upset doesn't need to stop you from sharing. Nor does someone getting upset mean that they won't hear the possibility in your sharing. And I think that's been one of the biggest cases for me as I started interpreting everything they're saying like it's really what's going on with them. They might be grappling with something. I've had people share some strange things, especially when I'm leading the introduction and they have a thought that, oh, they're upset about this. And they're not. They're just really dealing with something. If you're saying this could be possible, okay. So what works is to take on being free from the worry of being upset or leaving other people upset, knowing you and they can handle it. And really trusting that maybe, just maybe, you have a view that they are a small person or a weak person. And that maybe, just maybe, is not the case. Maybe something's not wrong with them. Maybe. And you can be fearless in your sharing. Wow, I've got something going on. I have a thought of, I shouldn't call them right now, or they're busy, or I don't want to bug them, or now's not the right time. Great, that's a thought. I can entertain that like it's the truth. Probably not. And I could call them, or I could share with them. And you can be fearless, getting that all that's going on is a body sensation or a thought. And you can share freely, and you don't have to worry about their reactions. You simply share and be with them. So in fact, I'm actually asking you to take on being fearless and sharing yourself, your possibilities, and your commitment to what's possible. And I actually what I mean by that right there is just go share your possibilities. Go share your commitments. And if it's there for you to share the landmark forum, cool, knock yourself out, do that. But I'm more interested in you having the freedom to be and your freedom to act. Of just sharing yourself no matter what you think the reactions are or whatever the reactions are. Just be free, be powerful with it. So, we're not going to go into any more about that. And you're going to get into your groups. So again, get into your groups and support each other. I'm not going to complete you at 10 o'clock, but just go over the assignments, get your calls scheduled, and I will see you guys in 2 weeks.
We can shift. I'm open to shift.
Yeah, right. So I don't have to like call you on anything. I have to do it. Yeah, right. No, I'm all.
We're already done. Alright, so just move those back to something. Great, yeah. That works for fear, and then
I gifted her a breakfast session for my history teacher. Like, I kind of hear you got it.
what a good assignment.
It's really good.
She's actually I have wheels today. Thank you.
4. Assignments. There you go.
Visceral, like, reaction is just like, oh god, I'm so distracted right now. And like, yeah, just like, got lost in conversation. She kept talking to me.
I know, exactly.
I just need to acknowledge you said it. And I was like, he's the one who and we just laughed about it. But I got totally lost. Like, I missed good 20 seconds of her story.
Yeah, I just put that together just now. It's like, you're catching up where judgment and Nancy together, and that's where you get all things upset from
So as I was reading the email, I got
Yeah, we're trying